Woman pulls up to non-parking space and refuses to move, so man gets payback. Mike could feel anger boil in his system like fresh tea in a pot. Why would she do this? The sign clearly states you can't park there, so what makes her think she's so special to be exempt from the rules? He knew exactly how he was going to make her pay. After all, she was asking for it. When Mike Jones woke up, he thought it was going to be just an ordinary day. You see, Mike's job consisted of him doing deliveries all over town, so he was a frequent visitor at his local gas shop. The gas was cheap and the snacks inside were tasty. But one day, something happened, and nothing was ever the same again. Mike left for work and headed to the gas station to fill his car for the day. As he pulled in, he saw an employee, Rachel, was standing idly by one of the pumps. He got out and started filling his car with gas, but as he turned towards Rachel, he knew something was wrong. Her eyes were teary and her face was red. What happened? Rachel told Mike that she was supposed to take the trash out from the outside bins and unload it in the dumpster around the side of the building. The problem was there was only one way to get to it, and it was clearly marked with signs saying, "Do not park here," and "Do not block the dumpster." What he saw beside it made his blood boil. A car was awkwardly parked in front of the dumpster, essentially blocking it off. "Have you asked them to move?" he asked Rachel. She wiped her eyes and said, "I did, and they said they would move, but that was over 30 minutes ago. They were really rude. That's why the poor girl was crying in secret." There was no question, he had to help her. After filling up, Mike jumped into his car and drove over, and with a huge smile on his face, parked his car in the first open parking spot behind the rude woman, effectively blocking her in. But that wasn't the end of his revenge. Mike got out of his car and walked towards the gas station. He heard a screechy, "Hey." A round woman with wiry brown and gray hair poked her head out the front window of the car. "Can you move your car? I'm parked here." Mike smirked and said, "That's not a parking spot though." "You know what? Hold on, I'll just be a minute." Mike went inside the gas station and slowly browsed the aisles, all the while keeping an eye on the woman outside. He could see she was getting more impatient, which made Mike feel good. But as Mike grabbed his food and drink and went over to join the line, the woman stormed her way inside. "Move your car now," she yelled. "Sorry, I can't leave here, that would be stealing," Mike told her. "So I'll buy this and then leave. Okay?" She just huffed and shrugged her shoulders. But as Mike finally made it to the front of the queue, he thought of another way to extend things even more. "Oh wait, this isn't what I wanted. I'll go put it back and grab what I really want." What the rude woman didn't know was that he could carry on like this for another good 30 minutes before he had to leave for his shift. But as Mike glanced over the woman, he could tell she was losing her patience. Was this the last straw? The woman started swearing at Mike, so the manager of the station, Jess, quickly intervened. "You're not allowed to talk to customers that way. One more outburst from you, and I'll kick you out." Mike went to check out, for the second time, and enabled the next phase by asking for a lottery ticket. After paying for his goods, he scratched off the ticket and to his amazement, he won a free ticket. It was another amusing layer on an already hilarious situation. He set the free ticket on the counter and slowly scratched off each square. And with each scratch, he let out a leisurely chuckle. Suddenly, the woman let out an ear-piercing screech and told Mike to stop wasting her time. Jess then demanded her to leave, but the woman refused. As her voice grew louder and louder, Jess swiftly picked up her phone and threatened to call the cops, to which the woman finally left the gas station. Mike thanked Jess and explained what had been going on. Jess laughed and told him how she was getting fed up with all the people that park there, especially when there are signs that clearly state you can't. But this was the first time anyone got retribution for it. There was one more piece of good news he had to deliver. He went outside. Mike left the gas station and saw Rachel standing near his car, trying to compose herself, but no longer from crying. They were tears of laughter. Mike pulled out the gas station, watching as the nasty woman sped past him. She was gone for good. Honestly, though, this lady got off easy compared to this next guy who decided to park near a dumpster. One man found himself intentionally and enormously blocked in for not following the parking rules. Like our Karen before, he felt entitled to do what he wanted. This turned out to be a huge mistake, especially when city workers were the ones who got ticked off and decided to take drastic and smelly action. The Acura RDX was spotted in a no parking zone in front of a huge dumpster. The driver figured it was either too late or too crowded to drive around to find a legal spot, so he parked in the clearly marked space for the entire evening. The enormous garbage truck pulled up and honked. No one came out to move the car. The rules are simple. If they can't find the owner, they snap a photo, send it to the authorities, and then carry on with their route. One neighbor, Jason, leaned out the window and watched the truck driver stomp out and pull out his phone, then drive away. The next day, the car was still there. The neighbor, who had been watching the scene with amusement, was now hooked on seeing what happened next. So, as soon as he heard the familiar beeping of the truck, he rushed to the window and watched. This time, two men came out and inspected the Acura. It was clear they were furious. One of them walked around the car, trying to find a way to maneuver their truck, but there was just no space. The other got on his phone, but, even to Jason, he could see the guy was getting angrier. The two men looked at the car and then got back into their truck. But they didn't drive away. It was the sound everyone knows, the warning beeps that a large vehicle is moving backward. Slowly, it crept towards the white car until it was as close as they could get. Next, one of the garbage men hopped out and pulled a lever. The hopper started to rise. The first bag fell. The plastic bag fell with a loud clunk and squish. Dark liquid oozed over the white paint. Another couple of bags tumbled out and more unidentifiable substances leaked everywhere. The hopper tilted further until an entire avalanche fell over the annoying obstacle. Just how much trash was unloaded? Jason watched with side-splitting laughter as the equivalent of 3 large SUVs worth of refuse was piled onto the car. This wasn't just a few things blocking the way. The space was now totally engulfed with black plastic lumps. As if this wasn't enough, the workers got out and did more. To make sure everything was covered, they picked up bags by hand and placed them strategically in any holes or spaces so there was nothing white showing. The owner would have to dig his way to the door. Jason could barely breathe, he was laughing so hard. He also made sure to have his camera ready the next morning. Whether by chance or being warned, the man finally showed up. No one had any sympathy for him as he cursed and yelled his way through the dump. He even got on his phone to call the police. At least he learned never, ever, mess with city services and always obey the parking rules.
Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more.